Today let's study about separation of liquid mixtures. Now liquid mixtures may be of two kinds. They might be heterogeneous or what we call as immiscible. That means not soluble into each other, or they may be homogeneous or miscible, that is soluble into each other. If the mixture is immiscible or insoluble into each other, then we separate it using a separating funnel. Example, mixture of kerosene oil and water. They are separated by using a separating funnel. This is what a separating funnel looks like. The mixture is allowed to stand still in a separating funnel and it forms two distinct layers. The lower layer is the heavier component and upper layer is the lighter component. A stopper or a tap like structure is present here. When we open the stopper or the tap, the heavier fraction comes into the beaker and lighter one is left here. So this is what a separating funnel looks like, which can be used to separate a mixture of carbon tetrachloride and water or kerosene oil and water. That means two liquids which are immiscible in each other or are not soluble in each other. They have different densities, or you could say heterogeneous liquids, can be separated by the method of separating funnel. Now what if the two liquids are miscible in each other or soluble in each other, or what we call as a homogeneous mixture of liquid and liquid, but these liquids have different boiling points? Then we use a method called fractional distillation. Now we have studied about the process of distillation, and same thing can be used to separate a liquid mixture. Like here we took a mixture of salt and water. When we heated it, salt was left here, water changed into vapor and could be collected here. What if we have two liquids here having different boiling points? When we heat it, the one which is having a lower boiling point would boil and distill over, and its vapors can be condensed here, and the other one can then be boiled later. The receiver can be changed and it can be collected here. But this is possible only when we have a mixture of liquids which have a difference of at least 30 degrees Celsius in their boiling point. But what would happen when their difference is less than 30 degrees Celsius? We use a process called fractional distillation. So complete separation is possible only when the difference in the boiling points is 30 degrees Celsius or more. If this difference is less, then we need to use a fractionating column, that is having fractions or compartments. The liquid is taken here at the base, it is heated, and according to the boiling point, different liquids in that mixture, in that homogeneous mixture, start rising up. These valves open, they come into different chambers, and these chambers are kept at different temperatures and they condense in different parts. So we don't have to change the receivers. The combined mixture is put here, and at different boiling points every fraction distills over. So crude petroleum oil, which is found naturally in nature, petrol, kerosene, diesel, all are obtained from it by the process of fractional distillation. So we can use normal distillation when the difference between two liquids which are miscible is 30 degrees Celsius or more. But if this difference is less than 30 degrees Celsius, then we use fractional distillation. Water and alcohol can be separated by this method because their difference of boiling point is not 30, it is less than 30, 78 and 100, which makes it only 22. So we use fractional distillation. Petrol, kerosene and diesel can be obtained from crude petroleum by the process of fractional distillation. So fractional distillation is used to separate components of miscible liquids, and immiscible mixture is separated by a separating funnel. You can mark the definition of fractional distillation here. This we have already discussed, that liquids which dissolve in each other are called miscible, they are homogeneous, and liquids which do not dissolve in each other, they are immiscible and they are heterogeneous. Next we move on to a process called chromatography. This is a very latest technique. It can separate components of dyes or inks. An ink is made up of several kind of dyes. We can separate all the dyes. It's a very advanced technique in which we use a paper called chromatographic paper, or we use a filter paper called Whitman's filter paper. So this is one of the latest techniques to separate the components of a mixture when all the components are similar in their properties. Like components of ink can be separated by this method. What we do here is we take a piece of Whatman's filter paper or chromatographic paper. This is paper chromatography. It is of different kinds. We will be doing paper chromatography. So what can you use here? A chromatographic paper or a Whatman's filter paper. You will take a piece of this filter paper, draw a line here, and above that line put a spot of the ink, say, that you have to separate. You use a solvent in which different dyes of ink can dissolve, and that solvent is taken in this container or the beaker, and in it is dipped this filter paper or Whatman's filter paper. Slowly, by capillary action, what will happen? This solvent will rise, and these dyes which are there in the ink will dissolve in this solvent. The one which is most soluble, the component of the mixture which is most soluble rises faster. The one which is less soluble will rise slowly, and after some time you will get results like this. This is known as a chromatogram, and you will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots here, which means that this ink is made up of 5 different kinds of dyes, in which this one is most soluble, this one is a bit less, this is more less, and least. Their components have separated. So you had put 1 dot of a colored ink here. This ink was made up of so many pigments or dyes. This solvent moved up, and what happened? The components separated. So paper chromatography has 2 phases. One is the moving phase called the mobile phase, and other is the stationary phase or the fixed phase. This filter paper, Whatman's filter paper, is acting like a fixed phase or stationary phase, and the solvent is acting like a mobile phase. So this mobile phase solvent will move up and go on separating the different components of this dye, of this ink, into separate components of the dye. This is how chromatography works. Mark the definition of chromatography: the process of separating different dissolved constituents of a mixture by their adsorption. Adsorption means on the surface, absorption means inside. So by their adsorption on appropriate material is called chromatography. You need to identify the definitions. And the word chromatography means color writing. So what is the basis of the principle of separation? The method is based on the differences in the rates of adsorption of different components on the surface of a suitable adsorbent. Like here, the suitable adsorbent used is a Whitman's filter paper. This is the solvent, and in this ink there are, say, 5 kinds of dyes. They all dissolve in this solvent at different rates, in different amounts, and this difference in their solubility will help to separate. What are the advantages and applications of chromatography? A very small quantity of substance can be separated. Like we saw just now, dot of ink, a drop of ink, its components can be separated. These components may be very similar in their physical and chemical properties. Like we studied for fractional distillation, that the difference in boiling points have to be there. But here, or in separating funnel, their density has to vary. But here, components may have similar physical or chemical properties, yet they can be separated. It helps to identify the different constants of a mixture. You can make out what all dyes are making that ink. And it also helps in quantitative estimation. That means you can also tell how much of which dye. From the size of the dot, you will come to know how much of which dye is present in the ink. So these are the advantages.